Hello students, it's Miss Nares. Today's video is about different types of sampling, different ways to get your sample from the population. There's three kinds we're going to talk about: convenience sampling, systematic sampling, and random sampling. Think about what those words convenience, systematic, and random might mean. Convenience sampling is the easiest. It's where you choose a group that is easy to access. Just because it's the easiest, though, doesn't mean it's the best. Because I'm picking only one group that is easy, I might have bias in my sample. Systematic sampling is where I have a system in the way that I pick the members of the sample. For example, I choose every nth member. So maybe every 50th person walking into Edna Hill. The last kind of sampling is random sampling. And one way to do this is to assign everyone or everything a number and then randomly pick numbers to pick the members. Random sampling is usually the best one to give us a representative sample. So here's an example. It says, on average, how much math work are Edna Hill students completing during distance learning? If I wanted to find out information about this, I could do a convenience sample, I could look at a systematic sample, or a random sample. A convenience sample would be if I only look at my students. That's convenient for me. I'm only looking at my class periods, my students, and looking at how much math work they've completed. Now, that's probably going to be biased because I only have 7th graders and I only have my students, which are pretty awesome. I could also do a systematic sample where maybe I pick every math teacher's 3rd period and I look at those students to see how much math work they're doing. This is a little bit more representative because I'm getting 6th grade students and 7th grade students and 8th grade students, and I'm getting all different kinds of students, but there might still be some bias there. The best option would be to do a random sample, and I could use a computer to randomly pick student IDs and then look at those students to see how much math work they're doing. That would probably be more representative of all of Edna Hill. Let's do another example. Example 2. A farmer wants to predict how many pounds of cherries the orchard will yield. So again, I'm going to give you an example of what a convenience sample would be, a systematic, and a random. For convenience, he could look at the first row of trees and see how many cherries that first row gives him, and then make a prediction for the whole orchard. For systematic, he could look at every 10th tree. So he's still not looking at all of it because he wants a sample, not the whole population, but he's getting more trees and trees from all over the orchard. And then for random, he could use slips of paper and write the numbers 1 through 20 on them, put them in a bag, shake it up, and draw the pieces of paper from the bag, and those would be the sample trees. So maybe he picks, one from the first row, and then one from the 8th row, and then one from the 3rd row, and that would give him an idea of the whole orchard instead of just focusing on one section of it. So again, we talked about 3 kinds of sampling: convenience, where you pick an easy group; systematic, where you have a system like picking every nth, every 10th, every 4th, every 5th; and then random, where you randomly pick. And usually random gives you the most representative sample. All right, guys, bye.